Okay, everyone, it's Terry, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you are a returner. I value you all very much. I know you have other things better than me. Fancy that. Anyway, today I am looking through the Simon & Schuster's Guide to Orchids and using this as a guide to diagnose or give a remedy to a struggling orchid that corresponds to the one that's in this book. Okay, this is one of the first books that I bought when I started growing orchids, and I found these books in used bookstores or regular bookstores, but I prefer used since they're cheaper, solely because there was no internet then, and that was my research. So let's just get started. And right off the bat, we come to Angraecum cespasquidale. And this is a description, synonym Eranthus cespasquidale. And you can read that on your own. I assume we are all adults here. So, all right, folks, right here, right in front of us, we have the king as designated by Fred Hillerman, which is Angraecum cespasquidale. This is Darwin's orchid, the common orchid, etc., etc. Now with this one, the issue with this one was that it had a spike, as did that Angraecum had a spike, which is a cross. I think it might have some cespasquidale in it. And anyhow, the spikes lasted because of the heat, lack of heat. So Angraecums need heat in the wintertime and year-round, or else you will lose their spikes like I did. Or you may lose the entire plant, which is around here somewhere, if I did not already toss it. Which was it? It was and I can't even think of it now because it's dead, but it was, geez, I can't even think of it. But be careful with the heat. Same with the dendrobiums. Laturias, you see how the leaves invest in the water, or else I will lose my spikes. So, heat on cats and Angraecums are essential. Or else you will lose your spikes, you will lose your new growths, and the plant will not survive. Dendrobium macrophyllum, those hairy flowers with the patterning, the stripes. Medium large plant. Leaves generally 3 to each pseudobulb. Orchid generally flowers in the spring. Species is best in a pot with well-drained material, medium. Watering should be regular throughout the year, as should temperature and humidity. Dendrobium macrophyllum. Oh, okay. Now we are up here and we're getting my dendrobium here. This is dendrobium macrophyllum. And this suffered a bit. This is a macrophyllum crossed with Shirashii, however you say it. But bloomed very well for me this last summer. And what it suffers from now, I believe, is lack of humidity and water. I just got it hooked up with with humidity, and just began rather regularly watering. The canes are not floppy, except for the very newest growth. So I am beginning to give it more water, and I have put a humidifier in the room. So that should take care of that pretty well. Okay, and dang, excuse my laundry. That's rude. But this is why we're here. And this is says for him. But it's probably Mari, I will see. As you can see, there are plenty of new growths that are maturing. There are what appears to be inflorescence. There's a couple there. And there's a little sheath there. But it is getting somewhat drier conditions, but I am making really sure I'm being careful not to give it too much water. I am not giving it a complete dry rest. I was reading it somewhere and it said that it should get a steady supply of water. I have never heard that about citrina or Marii or Marina. So I have tapered off, but we shall see. And as I look at this sheath over here, it looks like it might be elongating, but it's probably just my imagination. Okay, so that's Marina. It's good air circulation, not completely dry, gets in it, gets water, nice humidity. Well, not right now, but it gets decent humidity and warm to intermediate temperatures. Encyclia, Marii, Marina, citrina, it's all the same. Marii. Medium small plants, pseudobulbs are ovoid. Apical inflorescence is curved. Orchid flowers in summer. Cultivation, the species belong to the genus is easy to cultivate. Yeah, right. And is recommended even to beginners. Regular watering during growth should subsequently be reduced and followed by a dry period during the winter. Between the sheaths of the completed growth and they are tall spikes, and the flowers are like kind of white with grape. They are produced in clusters like grape hyacinth, and they are fragranced of lilac, white flowers. And you see this putting in growth. Areas like well-drained soil, and they don't want to dry out completely. But as I've said before, they want a lessening of water after the growths have matured to prepare for the blooms which come from the newly matured growths. So that's a tip for areas. It likes nice light, not direct sun from the midday, but can take some. There are some that are more intermediate, but these that I have in my collection are warm tolerant. Okay, that's it for now. Well, this is an area before I go. And I don't have the tag on it. So, that's where I will end the video on this lovely and great Camellias. Enjoy your orchids, and thanks for watching again. Bye. Well, anyway, this is what I was looking for, and this is my Galliandra. This one is Galliandra. Bowerii. Miniature epiphytic orchid, resembling catasetums in a way, in that they get a little bit of a dormancy after the completion of their growths, and then they get blooms from a sequentially producing inflorescence from the apex of the latest matured growth. Very dainty little look like they're little, what do they look like? Anyway, some of them are fragrant. They're worth having. Is apically curved or branched. Consists of a few flowers that open in succession and are characteristically funnel-shaped with a yellow-brown purple lip, slightly wrinkled. Margin is wrinkled, slightly wrinkled. Orchid flowers in the spring. Maxillaria picta. Maxillaria picta, or fuscata, from Brazil, medium small plant. Flower stems erect or pendulous. The inflorescence flowers, you can read this. In cultivation, it's easy to grow, as it says. Water should be regular throughout the year, but it is advisable to reduce slightly after the full growth. And it is advisable to keep the plant for several years in the same container. Maxillaria picta, y'all. Now we have Maxillaria picta, which I love so much. Just repotted, spotted. It's been difficult for me to bloom. These require a little bit of a lessening. And then we've got this area over here, which is hyacinthoides, a beauty and very fragrant. I love it. The unique pseudobulbs in the growth, and the pseudobulbs, the spikes emerge from the sheaths that's around the newly completed growths. And they look just like hyacinths and smell like lilac.
Between
really nice thing to have.
sheets
And
of the completed
a closer view of the pseudobulb shows its
and
unique
tall spikes
form in the media that is very
and the
dry.
flowers
Not dry, but
are
coarse.
like kind of white
This
white
is
with grape.
area
They are produced in clusters like
generally
grape
blooms
hyacinth,
in
and
spring
they are fragrant
or the fall, I think.
of lilac white flowers. And you see this put in the growth. Areas like well-drained soil, and they don't want to dry out completely. But as I've said before, they want a lessening of water after the growths have matured to prepare for the blooms which come from the newly matured growths. So that's a tip for areas. It likes nice light, not direct sun from the midday, but that I have in my collection of warm tolerant. Okay, this is area hyacinthoid, which is a very choice epiphytic orchid. It's a species. Areas all are very precious. Most of them have a fragrance that is pleasing, but the thing you need to do, species may be grown. Recommended growing medium is bark enriched with osmunda or sphagnum, water abundantly, then reduced. Plant flower looks surprisingly like a small hyacinth. It blooms in spring and summer. White flushed to a variety extent with lilac. And there's the bloom. Area hyacinthoides. And up here is my Lurida. It's no longer Oncidium. It is Trichocentrum luridum. And you can see it is a mule ear with these long leaves and the short pseudobulbs. Now, I did give this a little bit too much water at the end of its maturity. This growth here on the right, which you can kind of see is a bit rounding the tall one with this leaf up here. It really should be throwing out spikes. It bloomed beautifully. Such a wonderful fragrance, but key tip, folks, is make sure that it is dry. Pictidas tend to climb out of the pot, as do most maxillarias, tenifolia, but once you get them into some fresh media, they should do well. So make sure it's completely dry. And that is Trichocentrum luridum. Okay, we have Oncidium luridum, which is now Trichocentrum luridum. It's from South America, Western Indies, and Florida. Medium-large plant without pseudobulbs. It's a mule-eared. Inflorescences are stiff, curved branch, generally over 5 feet long. Easy to grow plant, kept in the pot proportional to the size. Watering should be regular all year round, but allowed to dry out. And it is very fragrant. I'm sorry, it is. It says it's not. Mine was. And there's the flowers. Oncidium, or Trichocentrum luridum. Okay, here we have, sorry for the poor light. This is Venusta, but I think that's the synonym for Bracteata. Could be here. Let's see.
No, we're talking about Rodriguez's. And I need to give it a little bit more water, but it's still, despite all that, still not doing so bad. There's new growth. Yep, Orchid is kind of suffering, but that one is doing well. And as you can tell, this features a bit more than I need to do. And here's another one. That is another decoy. And bend down and get this, because that's my Venusta. I just failed. Okay, so let me show you this real quick, which is my other Rodriguez. I think it might still be in bloom. Here we are. Rodriguez Cora. Cutie. Still interesting, unique pseudobulbs. Still could use a bit more water, but it did bloom, so cannot complain too much. And here's the culprit. And we're impressed with it, which did the same thing. Lost the full main plant, but let me see. No, there is no hope of any Kiki. And look at my getting sunray. Yellowing, I need to really put some more heat up here. And I will do it. All I gotta do is turn it on. Or up. So anyway, that's that. Roger gets here. Bracteata. Which is medium small plant, small pseudobulbs, compressed, enfolded by basal leaves. Basal inflorescence are stiff and pendulous, generally, or flowers in the spring and summer. Species, like the majority of the other 35, can be grown either on tree fern or cork. Watering of pot specimens should be carried out with great care. Those on rafts must never be allowed to dry out. Rodriguezia bracteata. So this can do with more steady watering and perhaps warmer temperatures. Actually, this is the one. Trichoglotis smithii. Trichoglotis smithii, Vanda type, originates from Borneo. No pseudobulbs, it's monopodial. It does have aerial roots. And the very short axillary inflorescence are single flowered. Quite showy as well, white with cinnamon spots and magenta on the lip. Usually flowers in the warmest months of the year. And that's Trichoglotis smithii. This is a Trichopilia. This is Trichopilia fragrans. I also have a Trichopilia suavis, I believe. This suffered greatly since I brought it inside for the winter. The canes are shriveled. They are very flat, whereas they should be a little bit more plump. I have just recently repotted it and have been increasing the humidity, trying to keep this alive. I have been advised to do so. And here is another example of a healthy trichopilia. I believe this is Sinashana. And you see the bulbs are flat, the leaves are yellow, the bulbs are still green. They are plump, not wrinkly, as opposed to that one. And Trichopilia suavis, or fragrans. Trichopilia suavis. Medium small plant, pseudobulbs, fairly rounded, very compressed, single apical leaf. Basal inflorescence is pendulous, quite short, with 2 to 5 showy flowers. Long-lasting white with spots, or as in fragrans, pure white. Orchid flowers in early spring. They are quite common, usually in rare, well-drained materials. Water should be regular, then stopped for a few weeks. I said materials, medium. Okay. The plant should be kept in a cooler, well-ventilated position when rested. And repotting should be done every year. Did I say these were very fragrant? Trichopilia.
That is striving for truth and not somebody else dictating to you how to do your thing, which you know how to do better than anybody else.